The first thing that broke was the clock. It stopped at 3:17 a.m., the hour when Mara woke, reaching for a phone that no longer lit up with his name. The room was quiet in the way only abandoned places are quiet, thick, heavy, pressing against the ears. She lay there, staring at the ceiling, counting breaths like a child counts sheep, hoping sleep would come back and claim her. It didn't. Heartache, she learned, was not loud. It didn't scream or shatter glass. It moved in softly, rearranging things when you weren't looking. In the morning, she made 2 cups of coffee out of habit. She didn't notice until she carried them to the table, one in each hand, steam rising like ghosts. She stood there longer than necessary, as if time might rewind if she just stayed still enough. Eventually, she poured 1 cup down the sink and watched it disappear, dark and irreversible. The world kept asking her to be normal. Emails arrived. Cars honked. The grocery store played cheerful music as if nothing had happened. Mara learned to nod, to smile, to say, "I'm fine," with the right amount of air in her lungs. But grief lived in the small spaces. The empty hook by the door, the unused toothbrush, the side of the bed that stayed cold, no matter how many blankets she pulled over it. She found his sweater one afternoon while cleaning blue, worn at the cuffs, still carrying the faintest trace of him. She pressed it to her face and inhaled. That was when the pain finally rose up, sharp and sudden like a wave she hadn't seen coming. She sank to the floor and cried in a way that felt ancient, as if every loss she'd ever known had gathered in her chest at once. Days turned into weeks. The ache dulled, but it never disappeared. It became a quiet companion, sitting beside her on the bus, walking with her through evenings that felt too long. Sometimes it whispered memories inside jokes, late-night conversations, the way he used to say her name. Sometimes it said nothing at all. One night, Mara fixed the clock. It was a small thing, almost meaningless, but when the ticking resumed, it felt like a permission slip. Time had not ended at 3:17 a.m. It had only paused, waiting for her to breathe again. She opened a window and let the cold air in. The city hummed below, alive and indifferent, but steady. Heartache, she realized, was love with nowhere to go. It was proof that something real had existed, that it had mattered enough to leave a mark. She didn't stop missing him. She wasn't sure she ever would. But slowly, gently, she began to carry the pain instead of letting it carry her. And some nights, when the clock ticked and the room felt almost warm, she believed just a little that one day the hurt would soften into something quieter. Something like remembering. If you are struggling with grief or mental health, please know that you are not alone and help is available. Resources are linked in the description below. Thanks for listening.